Thank you so much for coming back. And today we are going to make a little case for our glasses. As you can see, I have a wonderful case, which is lovely, from Asda, which is where I get my glasses. And I've got my sunglasses in there. And I thought this is about as simple as I want to get, because I've looked at a few, okay, and they are very, very complicated to me. Lots of measuring. So I went for a hunt in my stash and I found this. What's that, you're saying? Well, it's wadding. It was actually the top of my old ironing board, the cover. You know, you buy these covers, and I thought this would be perfect to use because it's already got a backing and a front. I don't need to do anything. All I need to do is measure the case for what size glasses I need. I think I'm going to have to cut the seam off, and then we're just going to wrap it round like this, and I think that will do me. It's got to be better than the Asda. So let's just cut a square and see how we go. Okay, right, the one thing I've got to think of is this extra bit. So let's just double check. Measure twice, cut once. So if we're going to just stitch those together down the side, that's it. So I'll give myself a bit of room and I'm just going to cut. And yes, I have used this before, and I've only recently got rid of my ironing board. I don't iron really. I use this for ironing. And what I've used it for is a little blanket for Millie, for her dollies. I think I talked about this in the last video. So this is one side, and then on the other side I've put her name and got some really cute fabric. And this I've used as my wadding for in between. I am just sewing it up, but I don't know how to do the corners neatly. So I'm going to have to YouTube it and find out. But that's as far as I've got with that one. And then I thought, oh, need to do my glasses case. And I had a little conversation with Lynn by email. And I said, they all look really, really complicated. And she says, well, it doesn't need to be complicated. We don't need complicated. We just need to decorate. I really want that on the front. How am I going to do that? It could be upside down if I do it there, wouldn't it? So I want it there. That's not going to work. Okay. So if we have it on the back like that, then that will come up to the top. Okay, that will work. So I've got to cut the pattern with that on. So if I want that there, I'm just going to work this out a minute. I need that bit to be basically, I'm just gonna go for it. I've got a bit of extra, it'll be fine. So I think if I cut that there, give myself a bit of room, and then we'll put the shape in afterwards. That will wrap round, because I'm not going to do it any very fancy at all. Not at all. So we're just going to turn it, because I can't do it either way, to be honest, but you know, I've got little squares now I can play with. So that is my basic shape. All I've got to do is sew it up. So I'm going to sew it inside out. And I don't know how I'm going to do the top bit yet. I might just over stitch it. But what I want to do, obviously, is decorate it a little bit. So I've got some needles. And I thought I'd just sort of colour it in a bit with my crayons. With my... Oh dear. Talking about colouring in. Right, so what can we do? We can just go round some of these things, can't we? Just to make it, you know, a bit unique. So if we did a little, oops, let's pull that back out. Stem stitch. I love a stem stitch. You know, I love a stem stitch. And we'll just go round. We may run out of this colour because it's the only one I've got, I think, of this in my scrap jar. We just change colour. It's not a big deal. Right, now let's see if I can get this going so I can do more than one stitch at a time. Right, so I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? What I need to be doing is this and coming back up there. But with that on that side. That's what I need to be doing. I knew there was a way that I could do it all in one go without having to go up and down. And this is it. So down, up in the middle. And you make a nice little rope stitch. And we're just going to go round some of these. Why not? Just personalise it a little bit. You can do whatever you like, whatever you've got. If you've got an old ironing board cover, then use that. If you've got wadding and some gorgeous piece of fabric you want to use that. But you will have to, like, stick them together. What have I done? Oh, I've got to go down there. And then carry on. I always get confused at corners. I've confused myself again now. Up. Up. No, I need to be up. I need to be up. So I need to come up. That stitch disappeared, didn't it? Corners confuse me. Now I've made a mess. Obviously, corners on everything confuse me. Right, let's start again. There we go. Right, down, up. Leave your loop on the same side. Just like that, all the way round. Or until you run out of thread. I'm just using 2 strands of embroidery thread on this bit. And I want to say thank you to everybody who answered my question about the scissors and the needles on flight. I have been researching, and apparently, yes, you can take little snips. I think these are going to be okay. My only problem is I'm going through Sydney, and apparently Sydney are the only place that will take them off you. But I do have to get my checked luggage in Sydney, so I can always just pop them in to there while I'm waiting, before I hand them back in for the domestic flight. That's if I go to Sydney. I don't know where I'm going at the moment. We haven't worked out the details. But it's usually Sydney. I think I'm going to run out. I think I shall just stop right there in that corner. And we will... I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know whether it's going to hold it at all. I hope so. I'm going to have a very unique glasses case if this works. If it doesn't, I've had a lovely afternoon playing. I'm going to have to find some place to put all my like leftover scraps when I cut them. That isn't going to last very long, so we're going to go green now because I haven't got another colour. So, you know, doesn't matter. I'm not fussed. Yeah, apparently needles are fine. And I've found out if I ever go to America, that's absolutely fine. You can even take knitting needles. And I wouldn't have thought you could take knitting needles. It seems a bit strange to me. I can't take a little pair of scissors, but I can take a great big long knitting needle. Crazy, isn't it? Never used to have all these rules and regulations. But hey, they're for our own safety, aren't they? So we have to abide. But yes, thank you to everybody who took the time to answer my little query. I do have to check with whichever airline I fly, so I'll do that nearer the time. So yeah, I don't know which way I'm going yet. It's all very exciting. I've come out too far. It looks a very funny shape at the moment, doesn't it? I hope it works. It might not. You know. I think I might have to go and get a cup of tea though, because I'm getting quite thirsty. All the talking, guys, it's all the talking. Some of you have said put it to music. I might have a go at that, but I don't have music. I don't do the pay for music thing, so you'd probably get some awful YouTube chosen stuff. I think sometimes it's nice just to sit and be quiet while we're stitching and be mindful. Obviously you can't be mindful while I'm chitty chatting away. But we'll see. We'll see if this works. I sort of want to put it together, but I also want to decorate it before I put it together. So I'm sort of in two minds what to do. I'm just going to do a little bit, I think. And it wouldn't be much of a stitching channel if I didn't. As you can see, the stem stitch is quite a nice, simple stitch to do. And you know what I've just realised is I don't need to go all the way through. I'm going all the way through and I don't need to. That might be something to think about, because that'll be big knots like that are going to rub, aren't they? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tie it like this, and it'll be a smaller one. Let's untangle it a bit. Now, if I just do this, it makes a smaller knot. And I've still got my 2 strands ready for next time. as you can see, I've done a bit more stitching just over the lines on here, and I was going to do some more, but I really want to finish this with you, so I've left it. I've restrained myself, but you can add as much decorating as like on the front. So all we've got to do now is piece it all together, and all I'm going to do is wrap this round like that and sew it down there and sew it across the bottom, and we're pretty much done. Now, my problem is that it's going to be a bit bulky here, but then I'm thinking, you know, it's going to be quite padded anyway. But I'm thinking I might cut some of this off, like maybe down this bit, so that it's not quite so chunky here. So now I have stitched it around with a blanket stitch, so I'm going to cut that, but I'm going to have to go over it again, which, you know, we can do. I'm sure it won't come apart. If it comes apart, I'll put some more stitches in it. Right, let's see if that's better. So fold and fold, that looks better. So what I'm going to try and do now is, first of all, this one, that was it, go over here where I actually cut through my stitches and just sort of do a few more blanket stitches just to make sure it doesn't come undone. Oops, I've tangled myself up. There's a surprise. You know, when you start making a video, all the things go wrong. Right. Just going to do a few just in this edge, and then we'll get round to stitching up all the rest. So my plan, such as it is to just stitch these together. And I'm wondering if that's going to be big enough. Let's get my glasses back out just to check. Look at that. They're going to be snug in there, aren't they? I could actually make it smaller. I think that would be fine. Right, so just a tiny, tiny bit. But I mean, that is going to be super padded. Right, now, I don't know how I'm going to do this bit yet. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I could turn it inside out and then turn it the other way. And just sort of do maybe a running stitch. No, maybe a blanket stitch this way and then turn it round. I wonder if that would work. Well, shall we find out? Let's find out whether that's going to work. So I'm going to stitch a blanket stitch, which is basically just, oh, it's one of my edging. It's the only edging one I know, to be honest. So, and you just come through and go through that loop that I've just destroyed. I'll do it again properly. So come through, front or back, doesn't really matter, just keep going the same way. And then in this little loop here, you just go back through it, and it makes a nice tight little knot. And I'm going to do it quite close together. Obviously, you can sew this on the sewing machine. But you know, I'm just proving that you can still make yourself one, even if you only got hand stitching. Right, so I'm not going to bore you. I am going to just quickly do this off camera because it's going to take a little minute. I'll come back when I get down to the bottom and we'll see if it's worked together. Okay? Okay, so I'm almost down at the bottom, and I did pop a little pin in so that it didn't go crooked on my way down. So I can take that out now. And as you can see, I'm going to show you in a minute, is I've tried to keep my stitches really, really small and the same length when I go through. I tried, okay. Sometimes they're going to work, sometimes it's not. But if I'm going to be making something, I do want to do it properly. So there's not a lot of wonky stitches in this. So I don't know what I've done here. I've made a knot. I've been doing really well all the way through this, and then I come back on, and I've made a knot. So I'll just finish off down to this corner. You see, just tiny little blanket stitches all the way down the edge. And it took a little while because, you know, I want to do this properly. Like I said, I'm not going to say it again. Come on, keep them little. I've had to keep telling to myself, keep them little, keep them little. So here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at the end, turn it the other way round. And I'm going to do that with you. Oh, look, I've done it again. Why do I keep doing this? Come on. Come on. No. What have you done? What have you done? Where's... Okay. Come through. Go down. I can't see what I've done wrong, guys. There's nothing there that could be going wrong. Ah, there. I seem to have gone through it twice. No. Okay. Is there a reason why you are tangling up? I'm just going to try and untangle this little knot I seem to have found myself. Of course, it's right at the end. Okay, right, let's have a look. What's going on? What's going on? No. 1, 2. That's not pulling through. That's really weird. Right, so I'm not going to mess it up right at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo this last bit. I don't do this very often. But I'm a bit puzzled as to where it's sort of gone wrong. I can't see where it's gone wrong. There, maybe? Ah, there's a knot somewhere here. What's this bit? Aha! Right. Sometimes you get a bit cocky towards the end. And, of course, talking and stitching is also sometimes beyond me. So let's just finish this off. I've probably got about 3 more stitches to do. And, of course, it messes itself up. So let's try not to do that again. It's almost level. But we did just cut it by eye, so, you know, that's going to happen. Doesn't matter, it'll be on the inside. I will just trim the end. Right, let's do a double little knot. So I'm just going to go over and do another little knot, just so that it doesn't come apart. I couldn't get that apart again if I tried, could I? Right. Let's see. It looks a bit wonky now because I've shortened it. But let's see if we can turn this the right way round now. Fingers crossed. I need a drum roll, please. Everybody. Let's see if my made it up on my own pattern, and stitching has worked. Ooh, well, it's definitely hand stitched. That is not too bad. Have I got any holes? Oh, it's gone a little bit there. Oh, and there. Okay, so I didn't catch it completely. So I may have to run that. I may have to do that again with bigger stitches. Oh dear. Oh dear. But I'm going to finish it. Shall I finish it or shall I redo that? Oh. Oh. Look. It didn't work. I've got to go back now and redo these bits. Okay. So, turn it back inside out and I'm going to do those. Just where it came out. Do you want to watch? Do you want to watch me do some more? You know, these things happen, guys. It's not all perfect. Things happen that you don't expect. Where did my needle go? Didn't I put my needle away? No, it's still got this bit on. Right, so let's try and repair the bit I went wrong. Pretty much all the way down, wasn't it? But, that was me trying to do tiny stitches. So, what's the best way to repair that, do you think? Right, how am I going to fix that? Should I just try and find out where it's gone wrong and go over it again? Or maybe I can just do... Let's go this way because I've got a lot of bulk there. If this happens to you, let's just close this up. Now, I'm thinking about just doing some back stitches all the way up here and hoping that that might do the trick. What do you think? It might work. I don't know. We will see. We will see. You know, it's never going to be straightforward when it's me. So, I'll come up. Is it going to let... Oh, it will. I can do 2 in 1. And then come back. So, I do have some news. I am... I've hurt my knee, basically. And I had a chat with the physio. And they're sending me for an x-ray. And I'm going for an x-ray on Friday. I'm recording this on Wednesday on my day off. Because obviously I don't have time. I mean, I've got to work for... I don't get my days off this week. I've got to work. So I'm in advance. But yes, I have to go for an x-ray to see. Just to check in my knees. Just in the one, which is why I'm concerned. Because I've recently started, cycling again. Because, I need to lose some weight. So I'm getting on my bike. And I found that my knee was really quite painful. Now, I don't know if I've pulled ligaments, and I'm a bit concerned because I'd have thought both knees would have hurt, but it's just the one. So just to be safe, going for an x-ray, and I'll keep you updated. I'm not too worried because I'm sure that they'll figure it out. I'm really hoping it's nothing to do with the replacement, because I really couldn't go through all that again. It wasn't good. Yeah. So any of you who've had knee transplants, you know what I mean. Not the most pleasant operation, and aided by the fact that I'm actually allergic to morphine. So, didn't know that. The hospital didn't know that. So I ended up quite poorly. Yeah, interesting experience. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, and I'll keep you updated. Hopefully it'll just be, you know, everything's fine. You've pulled this, that, or the other, and you know, don't push it with the exercising, basically. And I haven't, you know, we've only done little bike rides, like to the cafe to have a cup of hot chocolate, basically. That's all we've done. So I don't think it's anything too serious. So, you know, just keeping you up to date. What else? I've been chatting with Dan about, which is Tam's husband, my son-in-law, and we've been discussing dates for me to go over to Australia. So it looks like it's going to be sort of the first sort of 3 weeks of June. So we'll see how that pans out. I'll probably try and do a few videos just to, you know, for you to watch while I'm away. But I don't know how that's going to go. Depends how much time I get before. But I'm sure you'll understand. I'm going to see my little Millie. My little Millie. She'll be 2. I can't believe she's going to be 2. She's so precious. So, yeah, things are all right. Work's okay. You know, it's work. I'd rather be doing this full time, but, you know, it's still fun to do. I hope this works. Do you think this is going to work? I don't know. It's quicker than the blanket stitch. See, I knew the name of that when we started this video, and now I've forgotten it. Honestly, they ought to check my memory. I think I ought to do an x-ray, see if I've still got a brain in there. My memory is just so awful. I'm blaming old age. But it's been like that for a few years now, so I can't really use that as an excuse. Right, I've got a bit where I've sewn here, so we are going to just go up and down to get past this bit. You can see I've got a big knot. I think I started and stopped in the same place and ended up with a massive knot, which wasn't good. Okay. Right, let's carry on. And we should be at the top in a minute. And then we can turn it round and see if it worked this time. I don't know. It might look awful. I might have to get the sewing machine out and just run it down the edge, just so that it doesn't fall apart on me. I feel like that's cheating. Cheating. But yeah, just backstitch. I've probably come too far away, but I have got plenty of room, so that's good. Oh, I'm very excited to see if this works. And next week, guys, we are back doing another page or 2, depending on how I feel, in my Little Mermaid book. I mean, that bag of scraps was just crying out to be a sea book, wasn't it? I'm going to be using those scraps for so long. They're like all my favourite colours in one bag. I'm not even gonna like put them away anywhere. I'm just gonna keep them. in the bag, or I might find something nice to put them in, like you know, a little basket or something, so I can dig through properly. But it's quite fun just grabbing a piece out and making it work like we did last week. And I'm going to be stitching some sequins, that's the word, onto her tail, as was suggested a few times. So I need to remember to use like beads and sequins and things like that. Oh, please let me have enough thread just to come to the end. That would be lovely. Cool. Can't believe I cut just the right amount. Right, all the way. I think the top and the bottom I was quite good at. So I might be okay. Right, let's go through and back a few times and then do a knot. Well, are you ready? Let's see if that made it worse or solved my problem. Probably shouldn't have tied it in a knot. I should have probably left it just in case. Right, here we go again. Drum roll, please. Try again. Take two. Take two. Push, 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 push. And unthread. It's not going to get a lot of use, is it? I might take it with me on. Right. Oh my goodness, that worked. Look at that. That is really... I should have done that in the first place. That worked absolutely perfectly. Look. Lovely, neat little... Or maybe double stitching works. Ha! We're nearly there. Right, so this is where it's going to be at the front. And I'm going to pop that down there like that. So my first thing is to pop one of these on. I've got these little dots. And I think they're sticky. But what I think I'll do is sew them on. Just to be on the safe side. Because we don't trust glue on the back of these on fabric. It probably works really well on paper. Right, so we've got to be really careful with this because I don't want my stitching to really show. So I'm going to go down underneath it. Oh, what's going on? Why aren't you going through? Because of the glue, maybe. Okay, well, tuck you in. In you go. In you go. I don't want to see you. Okay, we'll cut you off then. There we go. Solve that problem. And then I'm just going to put... Oh, I could put like a fake button on the top. I'm going to do that. Right, let's grab a little button out of here. And it'll look like it's a button, but it's not a button. Doesn't really matter. Sort of yellowy one would quite nice, but I don't think I've got them. Got weird. Don't know what they are. Ooh, that's quite cool. Bit big. Oh, now I'm going to spend ages looking for a button. Oh, I quite like that one. Unobtrusive. I'm going to just pretend that there's a button. It's not going to be a button. It's not going to work. Just going to be like fake button. But it will hide my stitching. I have yet to decide how I'm going to stitch the other one on, yes, because I've just realised that I probably can't reach down there to sew it on. Oh my goodness, that does not want to go through. That is not going to come off then, because I can't even get that through. Okay. So, this is real, guys. This is just true. Why won't you go through? I just want one stitch. That will do me. Oh, just to keep it on, because I'm really not sure that you are going to stay on. Right. I've got to get back through. Right. It's got to be the glue, I would imagine. But come on, you can do this. It's really tough. I think the other one might work. We'll give it a go. I've got to clean my needle now. Right. Now I've got to make sure the button stays on. Oh, that was a good idea, but it didn't quite work, did it? But, you know, this is our first one. This is our prototype. Right, I'm just going to stitch that underneath there like this. Yeah, I've got loads of glue on this needle now. I'll get the, is it acetone you can use, can't you, to get glue off things? Yeah, it's probably not a good plan. Stitch through those sticky ones. Should have got the sew-on ones. Right. So we have a fake button. Now, all we've got to do is get the other one in the right place. So I'll take that, put it onto there, and fold it over to there. Right. Now I'm going to open and shut this a few times and see if the glue actually does work. No. You see, I didn't think it would. I think it does need sewing on. Even if it is just a stitch, I can get through. And seeing as I've already ruined this needle, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try. Yes, I know. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Should have thought about this step first. So if you are making one, learn from my mistakes and just sew this bit on first. I could have made a buttonhole and had a button, but I thought this would work. Oh my goodness, come on. This is the hardest bit. Right. I'm back. Oh. I'm hoping one stitch is going to work. Well, the glue is very strong, but it doesn't want to attach to the fabric. So I think it does need. I'll push it down onto there. It does need to be stitched, but don't stitch the glue ones, guys. It doesn't work. Right, let me tie a knot in it because I'm not going to try and do that more times than that. That's enough. Hopefully it'll work. I think this needle's had it. I think I'm going to have to throw this one away. I'll show you in a minute. Look at it. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be working again. Okay, so I've ruined the needle. So this folds onto there like that. Ah, that works. A stitch just heaps it down. I like it. Boop. Okay, and our next job is just to do... I'm going to have to get a new needle. Oh dear. You're going to laugh. It's only a needle. And my needles are all thrifted anyway, so I'm not too concerned. But it is a lesson, you know. I think this video is going to be lessons we have learned making an eyeglasses case. Because there's a few mistakes in this one. This is like blooper city. Right. Okay. Oh, dear me. And now I'm losing my voice. Probably haven't got enough. And I'm going to do just more blanket stitch. Oh, the knot's not big enough. I mean, I'm going to do the old big knot. This is not sticking. Right. And I'm not going to do anything fancy on the corners because I can't. And what we're just going to blanket stitch across the bottom. And we're nearly there. I'm going to do big stitches. And then it might be wonky. I'm at that point now. Yeah, when you nearly finish a project. And make sure that I'm catching both sides, actually, because that's something, isn't it? So I don't want my glasses to fall out the bottom. So from not knowing if I could actually do this to finishing it, I feel quite accomplished. I feel like I'm a proper stitcher now. I've made something. I've made something useful, which is just so cool. Right, let's just get along here. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, this end bit. But I want to make sure they get it all in this time. Oh, it's just so puffy. This is definitely going with me on that airplane. This will protect my glasses. And strangely enough, at work yesterday, I actually broke the case on my computer glasses for work. I broke the case. And I'm like, that's just fate, because now I'm making a new one. Not that I'll use this at work. It'll just... This will be for at home. Although I might take it in and just show them. And go, you want to watch my video? Go and make yourself one. They'll all be asking me to make one for them. After this, I don't think so. I'd make it on the machine, I think. If I was going to make another one, I think I'd just for these stitches, just for like down that side, I think I would use the machine. Right, it's just trying to catch the fabric here, because it's where... Oops, I need to catch that one. It's where the fold is, so... I'm still checking on the other side to make sure that I'm getting all of the fabric on both sides. So there's a lot of flipping backwards and forwards. Nope. See, if you don't look, you don't know. Right, in there. And then catch this side. I don't know what it does in the middle. Get that one. I'm running out of thread. Okay, and down. And Oh, that's good. That's a good one. That one worked. I reckon one more stitch, don't you? I know I can see all the padding. You know, I'm not that worried. No, that didn't go through. There we go. I'm not that worried. It's fine. Oh my, why is it the last stitch? I am so running out of cotton. Right, let's try and do a couple of over stitches with a knot to keep that from unthreading. Right, you've watched every bit of the way almost. Except me a little bit of decorating, which was quite pleasant sitting and doing. Put your needle away, Carol. Time for the test. Take lovely Asda case off. Pop them in there. Sunglasses in. Ta-da! Oh, look at that. I know this should be the front, but it weren't. It's the way I cut it. I'm super chuffed with that. So if you've got an old ironing board cover that you could cut up, you can make a sunglasses case, eyeglasses case. And it didn't take that long. If you haven't got this, then obviously just get some felt and some fabric that you like and join them together with some fusible web. Have fun if you decide to make one, and I'd love to see it on the Facebook group, or just send me a photo and I'll pop it on the community wall for everybody else to see. And lesson learned, do not sew through glued dots. I'll see you soon. Bye.